2003 Epsom Handicap Day, 3 Group 1s in one day. Still can't believe it. Niello, unearthly. Clangalang, I still can't believe that he actually won the race.
Here's Clangalang emerging. Corey again.
Performance-wise, I think it was probably the best day in the saddle for me ever. 3 Group 1s in a day. Wow. Corey Brown, 2003 Epsom Handicap Day. That day I rode 3 Group 1 winners, 4 winners on the day, but I started with Niello in the Spring Champion Stakes. I rode in the start before at Newcastle in a good race. John Hawkes actually threatened to take me off the horse because I was a little bit keen and I used to ride him too close to the speed. He left me on for the Spring Champion. I rode him a little bit colder and yeah, bang, I worked out how to ride him. As you can see, I'm really leaning against him. I used to actually I would have let him run right up onto the back of the leader, but as John Hawkes wanted me to ride him a little bit colder, although he's not that far from the leader, I was trying as best I could to drag him back and ride him that touch quieter, but he had an explosive turn of foot, this horse. He was the real deal. He was a gun little racehorse.
Niello and November Dreaming are going to battle it out. It's on the outside, Niello doing by far the better, and Niello wins the Spring Champion Stakes.
First Group 1 was in the bag. Next up, Flight Stakes, unearthly. He was a new trainer to Sydney, David Payne. Obviously he's been here for a long while now. He was great to ride for, ex-jockey turned trainer. I just love riding for his stable. I had a lot of luck for his stable and I was lucky enough. John Camilleri, the owner of the horse, I used to ride a lot for him and I picked up the ride. She was big, she was strong, but she was always really kind. She was easy to ride. She never really hit the bridle. She was just one of those perfect racehorses. I'd won on her before. I knew she was capable of getting the mile. It was just against some of these other cracking fillies, whether or not she was good enough to beat them. She positioned up really, really well, travelled absolutely super, really relaxed. She was breathing well, she was in a great rhythm. It was just a matter of finding the right runs when needed. As you can see here, she just needed an out. Once she got clear running outside the runners, she found the 3 wide line, travelled up really, really well. I was super confident on her. Like I said, once I found clear running, that's all I needed was to allow her to lengthen stride and to attack. I knew that she was going to put him to the sword quite easily.
That's Unearthly the leader. She's got the Flight Stakes well and truly won, and Unearthly scores a great victory.
The Epsom, it's not a hard race to ride in, but it's a high pressure race. I think the key to winning an Epsom is a trouble-free run. You obviously got to get them into a good rhythm, try and find as little trouble as you can. It's one of those races, because it's a handicap race, there's a lot of lightweight chances in the race, so a lot of pushing and shoving, and because the boys, girls can afford to use a little bit of petrol in that first 2 furlongs because they've got such light weights. But I think the key to winning a race like the Epsom is definitely having a trouble-free run. Clangalang, he didn't draw the best, so I was really concerned about getting the right run on him. Obviously he jumps really, really well. There was a lot of speed. I ended up settling Clangalang back. He ended up getting in back into a one-off position. And once I got him into the one-off position, he switched off really, really well. Again, you can see there's trouble in the race, and that's what you don't need to be finding. But where I was buried back away, I found no trouble whatsoever. The tempo of the race was absolutely ideal for me from the position that I was in. And again, it was just all I needed was to find the right openings at the right time. Everything went to plan. I probably got back a little bit further than I first anticipated, but that was more so, I think, from the barrier. But yeah, leading up to the home turn, I was just praying for a little bit of luck. Again, you can see I'm starting to urge him along, but he never really felt the winner. He never travelled up like he was going to explode when he got the runs. You can see I've got him under hard riding here, a lot of pressure. All I needed was a little bit of luck. I thought he'd quicken, but when he got the luck, he just exploded. As you can see on the head on here, when I first straightened for home, there was no room for me to go anywhere, and then I got a slight opening to the outside, and once I got that opening, it just seemed to the seas parted. He exploded through the run and picked the leader up quite easily in the end.
Here's Clangalang emerging. Clangalang runs to Grand Army. It's Corey again.
3 Group 1s in a day. Wow. Performance-wise, I think it was probably the best day in the saddle for me ever. To win an Epsom Handicap, you know, it was always special, but that day to win the 3 Group 1s as well as the Epsom, it's always going to hold a special spot in my heart.